Your GPS shows a full battery,
92%.
You checked it 3 minutes ago.
Now the screen is black. The device is
The
dead.
device is dead. The temperature outside is minus 47 degrees Celsius, and you are alone on a frozen plateau in northeastern Siberia. You did everything right.
You bought the expensive gear. You
gear.
read the reviews.
You read the reviews.
You packed the list.
You packed the list.
None of it matters
None
now.
of it matters now.
This is not a
This
story
is not a
about
story
bad
about
luck.
bad luck.
This
This is a story about physics.
Part 1, the battery problem. Every piece of modern survival electronics runs on lithium-ion chemistry.
Your GPS, your satellite communicator, your headlamp, your
headlamp,
emergency beacon.
your emergency beacon.
All of them share the same fatal weakness. They were designed for a world that is warmer than the one you are standing in. Here is what happens inside the battery when the temperature drops below zero. The electrolyte, the liquid that carries ions between the electrodes, begins to thicken. It becomes viscous, sluggish, unable to move ions efficiently.
Jui battery.
The chemical reaction that produces electricity slows.
The battery's internal resistance climbs, and your device reads that resistance spike as an empty cell, triggering an automatic shutdown.
This can strip away 20 to 30% of a battery's rated capacity in severe cold. The energy is still there,
locked inside the cell. But the cold has made it unreachable. At minus 40, this process accelerates to the point
of near-instant failure. Components within the battery contract, making it harder for electrons to transfer between electrodes. CityLab's dendrites, tiny metallic spikes of lithium, can form along the anode. In some cases, they puncture the internal separator. The battery does not just stop working.
It is permanently destroyed. You cannot charge your way out of this. Charging a lithium battery below 0 degrees Celsius
causes permanent irreversible damage through a process called lithium plating. Impact battery. So the device is dead.
So the device is dead. You cannot revive it in the field.
And the temperature is not going up for 6 hours. This is the first failure. It is the one nobody talks about when they sell
you the kit. Part 2, what your jacket is actually doing wrong. The survival clothing industry is built around a concept called CLO.
24 rating, a measurement of thermal insulation. A higher CLO number means more warmth. This is the number on the hang tag. This is the number
in the review.
And this number is measured in a lab on a heated mannequin in still air. You are not a heated mannequin, and the air is not still. A wind of 10 miles per hour at minus 29 degrees Celsius produces the same effect on exposed skin as
still air at minus 44. A 25-mile-per-hour wind at the same temperature is equivalent to minus 66 degrees, with severe danger to exposed flesh within seconds rather than minutes.
Cool Antarctica. The jacket's CLO rating does not account for this.
It cannot.
Wind penetrates synthetic insulation differently than it penetrates down. Down compresses when wet, losing nearly all of its insulating
value. Moisture behaves in unpredictable ways in extreme cold. Polymers stiffen, metals contract, and battery output drops long before a battery is truly empty.
UFPRO. But there is a second failure point in the clothing system
that is more dangerous than the material itself.
Sweat.
At minus 40, your body is still generating heat. If you are moving, hauling a sled, breaking trail through snow, climbing, you are sweating. That moisture has nowhere to go. It saturates your base layer,
then your mid layer.
And
wet fabric against skin at extreme cold does not keep you warm. It accelerates heat loss.
It becomes a refrigeration system wrapped around your body. The industry solution is moisture-wicking fabric, polypropylene, merino wool. These materials pull moisture away from the skin and push it outward. But at extreme temperatures, the outer layers are so cold that the moisture freezes before it can escape. Ice forms inside the insulation. The jacket stiffens. The dead air
space that provides warmth collapses. Shivering begins, which produces heat in the short term but causes fatigue. And that fatigue
leads directly to a further drop in core body temperature. Lutheran pioneers, the clothing system sold in outdoor
stores is optimized for minus 15 to minus 25 degrees. It is marketed for everything. It fails where it matters most.
The hands, the feet, and the clock frostbite does not announce itself. That is the clinical reality
that most survival guides bury in a footnote. When skin temperature falls below 10 degrees Celsius, the surface blood vessels first dilate,
then constrict in alternating cycles as the body attempts to balance heat loss against tissue oxygenation.
Numbness.
Cool Antarctica.
12 your fingers.
You feel
the tissue
this as a
damage
burning
has already
sensation.
begun.
then
Modern
numbness.
insulated gloves
The
fail
numbness
at
is the
extreme
warning
cold
you
for
will
two
miss,
reasons.
Because by the
First,
time you cannot
the same
feel your
moisture
fingers,
problem.
the tissue
Sweating
damage
hands
has
trapped in
already
waterproof
begun.
shells create a
Modern
wet environment
insulated
inside
gloves
the glove.
fail at extreme
Second,
cold
dexterity
for two reasons.
to operate.
First, the
A
same
zipper,
moisture
a
problem.
buckle, a fire
Sweating
starter,
hands
a
trapped
first aid
in
kit,
waterproof
you need
shells
bare
create a
fingers.
wet environment
You take the
inside
glove
the
off
glove.
for 30 seconds.
Second,
At
dexterity.
minus 50,
To
30
operate a
seconds
zipper,
of exposed
buckle,
skin at the
a fire
fingertips
starter, a
begins
first
the
aid
process
kit.
of frostbite.
You need bare fingers.
You will not
You
feel
take the
it
glove
happening.
off for 30 seconds.
Feet.
At minus 50,
44 are worse.
30 seconds of
Insulated
exposed
boots trap
skin at the
moisture from
fingertips
below,
begins
snow
the
melting on
process of
contact with the
frostbite.
boot's outer surface,
Not
and
feel
from
it happen.
above, foot
The
looks
feet are
wet.
worse.
Modern
Insulated
vapor
boots
barrier
trap
boot
moisture
designs
from
attempt to
below.
solve this by
Snow
sealing all
melting on
moisture
contact
inside,
with the boot's
keeping
outer
it from
surface.
freezing.
And
But
from
this
above,
requires
The
foot
key
sweat.
is the vapor
Modern
barrier
vapor barrier boot
over the
designs
dry
attempt
wool
to solve
sock.
this
See
by
this
sealing
frozen
all
one?
moisture inside.
That's what you want to
keeping it
avoid
from
in these
freezing.
temperatures.
But this requires a sock management system that most users were never taught. Wet socks at extreme cold. Dry socks inside a vapor barrier. A schedule for changing them. Most people
What actually
do not
works?
notice.
It works.
Boots perform perfectly in the catalog. In the field, the feet go numb by hour
regularly
3.
reach minus 50 and below
Part
for
4.
thousands of
What
years.
actually works?
They did not survive
The Yakut
because of
people of
modern
northeastern
material
Siberia
science.
have lived through
They
winters that
survived
regularly
because
reach
of
minus
layering
50
logic
and below
that no
for
equipment
thousands of years.
manufacturer has
They did
fully
not survive
replicated.
because of modern material science.
reindeer hide. Specifically, 2 layers of it, worn fur
They
in,
survived
then
because
fur
of
out.
layering logic
The
that
inner
no
layer
equipment
traps a layer
manufacturer
of
has
warm
fully
air
replicated.
Against the skin.
Reindeer hide.
The outer layer sheds
Specifically,
wind and moisture.
2 layers of it
The
worn
dead
fur
airspace
in,
between the
then
2
fur
layers
out.
creates an
The
insulation
inner layer
system
traps
that
a
does
layer
not.
of warm air against the skin. The outer layer sheds wind and moisture. The dead airspace between the 2 layers creates an insulation system that does not
It is not
collapse
wicking
when wet,
synthetic fabric.
does not
It is a
stiffen in the
system
wind,
that
and does
manages
not fail
moisture
at any
through
temperature
biological
a human being
structure
can
rather
survive
than
long
chemical
enough to
treatment.
reach. It
This
breathes.
is not a call to
It is
wear
not
reindeer
wicking
skins.
synthetic fabric.
It is a call to
It is a system
understand
that
what they
manages
represent.
moisture through
The
biological
principle that
structure rather
insulation
than
must
chemical
breathe,
treatment.
Must create
This is not a
layered
call
dead
to wear
airspace
reindeer
and must
skins.
be
It is
managed
a call to
dynamically,
understand what
added
they
and
represent.
removed as exertion
The principle
levels
that
change.
insulation must breathe,
The core principle,
must
as
create
validated
layered
by
dead
U.S.
airspace,
Air Force SEER
and must
instructors
be
who train
managed
for Arctic
dynamically,
survival,
added
is a
and
3-layer
removed
system.
as exertion levels change.
A wicking base layer
The
to
core
pull moisture
principle,
from
as
skin, a
validated by
warming
US
mid-layer
Air
adjusted
Force
constantly
SEER
based on
instructors who
activity
train
level
for
to
Arctic
prevent
survival
sweating,
is a
and
3-layer
a
system.
Weather
A
protection
wicking
outer
base
layer
layer
that
to pull
shields
moisture
everything
from
inside
skin.
from wind
A
and
warming mid-layer
precipitation.
adjusted
Tax
constantly
pills.
based on activity level to
The
prevent
critical
sweating.
word is
And a
Adjusted,
weather protection
not
outer
worn as a
layer that
fixed
shields
system,
everything
managed
inside
hour
from
by
wind
hour,
and
minute by
precipitation.
minute, based on what your body
Tax
is
skills.
doing. For
The critical
electronics,
word is
The solution is
adjusted,
simpler and older.
not worn as a fixed
Keep batteries warm by
Managed
keeping
hour
them
by
on
hour,
your body
minute by minute,
inside a chest
based on what
pocket
your body is
against.
doing. For electronics,
The
the
battery
solution
that
is simpler
next to your
and
body
older.
at 37 degrees
Keep
Celsius
batteries
will
warm by
function when you
keeping
pull
them
it
on your
out
body,
into the cold.
inside a
The one
chest
sitting,
pocket, against
16
your
into your
skin.
pack at ambient
The battery
temperature
that
will
is
not.
next to your body
This is
at
not a
37
product
degrees
upgrade. This
Celsius
is a
will
behavioral
function
change.
when you pull it out
costs
into the
nothing.
cold. The
For
one
sim-
sitting in your
Difference
pack
between
at
success
ambient
and
temperature
failure
will
in
not.
Arctic conditions
This is not a
lies in
product upgrade.
preparation,
This is a
awareness,
behavioral
and
change.
disciplined routines,
It costs nothing.
not.
For
In the
fire starting, the
sophistication
difference
of the
between
equipment.
success and failure in
Ferrocerium
Arctic
rod
conditions
works.
lies in preparation, awareness, and disciplined routines, not in the sophistication of the equipment. UFPRO.
It
A
is not
ferrocerium
wicking
rod
synthetic
works at
fabric.
minus
It
60
is a
degrees.
system that manages
butane lighter
moisture
does
through
not.
biological
The gas will not
structure rather
vaporize
than
below
chemical
minus
treatment.
22.
This is not a
Waterproof
call
matches
to
with
wear
an
reindeer
extended burn
skins.
time
It is a
outperform
call to
every
understand
electronic
what they
ignition
represent.
system at the
The
temperatures where you
principle
need
that
fire
insulation
most.
must breathe,
Part 5.
Must create
the real
layered
problem.
dead airspace
The survival
and must
gear
be
industry
managed
sells
dynamically,
confidence. That is
added
its
and
product.
removed as
The
exertion
jacket, the
levels
GPS,
change.
the emergency beacon,
The core
they are
principle,
sold
as
as
validated
solutions
by
to the
U.S.
problem of the
Air
cold.
Force SEER
Buy
instructors who
this,
train for
and
Arctic
you will be
survival,
safe.
is
The
a
cold
3-layer
does not
system.
negotiate with your purchase.
A wicking base
Managing
layer to pull
equipment
moisture
in
from
extreme
skin,
cold is
a
not
warming
about
mid-layer
preventing failure
adjusted
entirely.
constantly based on
It is
activity
about
level
recognizing
to prevent sweating,
degradation early
and
enough to stay ahead of
Weather
it.
protection outer layer that shields
UFPRO.
everything inside from
The
wind and
GPS is
precipitation.
going to die.
Tax
The outer
pills.
shell is going to stiffen.
The critical
The boot insulation is going to compress under body weight and reduce its effective
managed
warmth by
hour
30%.
by hour, minute by
These are
minute,
not
based on
product
what your body
defects.
is doing.
They are
For
physical
electronics,
The solution
What
is simpler
works is
and older.
knowledge,
Keep
not
batteries
knowledge of which
warm
product
by
to buy.
keeping them on your
Knowledge
body,
of what the
inside a
cold is
chest
doing
pocket,
to every system you
against.
carry. Every minute you are
battery
out there.
that is next to
Knowledge
your
that
body
your
at
headlamp
37
will
degrees
crack
Celsius
its plastic
will function
casing
when
when
you
the
pull it
temperature
out
swings
into the
30
cold.
degrees between
The one
afternoon
sitting,
and night.
16-inch your pack at ambient temperature will not. This is not a product
Knowledge that your
upgrade, this is a
neoprene face
behavioral
mask
change.
is trapping
It costs
exhaled
nothing.
moisture that
For
will freeze against your skin
success
within the
and
hour.
failure in Arctic
Knowledge that the
conditions
moment
lies in
you stop
preparation,
moving, you have
awareness,
8 to
and
12
disciplined
minutes before
routine,
the sweat
not
in your base layer
in the
begins
sophistication
costing
of
you
the
more
equipment.
heat than you can produce. The
ferrocerium
people
rod
who
works at
survive
minus
extreme
60
cold at
degrees.
its worst are not
A
the ones with the
butane
most
lighter.
expensive kit.
The gas
They are
will
the
not
ones who
vaporize below
understand what
minus
the
22.
cold is doing before it does
Waterproof
it.
matches with
They
an
manage
extended
the
burn
system.
time outperform
They do not
every
trust the
electronic
gear.
ignition.
The gear is a tool.
Minus 60
The
degrees.
cold is a law of physics.
butane lighter.
And physics has never read a
The
product
gas will
review.
not vaporize below minus 22. Waterproof matches with an extended burn time outperform every electronic ignition.